Do we like the way that this looks? Do we? Do we like the way that this looks? What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today, we are going to be playing with a new to me brand called Jones Road. If you are unfamiliar with Jones Road, it is Bobbi Brown's new clean beauty line, and I bought a whole bunch of stuff from it. How cool is this little bag, by the way? It's like in this unterrible paper. Unterrible. You can't tear it. It's also not terrible. Yeah, I just am familiar with it because it's like what baby books are made out of a lot of times, so that the babies can't tear the books. Anyway, so it is a limited release as of yet, and she's kind of rolling out products, I don't know, every few weeks or so. There's a lot of coming soon on the website. So if you guys end up enjoying this video, let me know so that I can keep investing in this line and keep you guys informed on the new stuff that's coming out. But I got the Miracle Balm in Dusty Rose. This is supposed to be a multi-use balm with some pigment to it. You could see it as a gigantic tub of blush. I got this little set that comes all together that is an eyeshadow that she calls the best eyeshadow. I got the Just a Sec eyeshadow. They are two different formulas. The Cool Gloss in clear and an eyeliner that is called the Best Pencil in black. And then I also picked up her $24, I want to say, mascara, and I've had a chance to use all of these for a few days and really get my head around them before reviewing them. So I'm gonna move you guys in. We will put all the Jones Road on my face and also fill in the gaps with other things, but we will end up with like a pretty lightweight face of makeup on today. And then I will kind of give you guys my final thoughts on how these have worn over the last few days. So let's go ahead and jump in, fam. Oh, and we're gonna do something about this, don't worry. Oh, autofocus just never ceases to excite me. So, we're gonna be using the Daydream Cushion from Cosmetics today because it's just kind of the perfect lightweight base for this. You could go completely no base as well. But yeah, something that I did not realize, because I don't really keep up on Bobbi Brown because it's not a cruelty-free company, is that Bobbi Brown actually left Bobbi Brown 4 years ago. And this is her new venture into the beauty space. And it really, from her, you know, about section on the website, seems to be coming through the lens of a makeup artist with tons and tons of experience who's frankly sick of the makeup industry and sick of really fussy full faces of makeup. And so she's trying to put out, you know, not more makeup, but better makeup. And that this is supposed to be an all-in-one line, ultimately, that gives you tons of options for each product, but that it's still super, super simple. And she does use the word clean in self-describing this brand. So she has a whole statement that I can look at in a little bit, but you know, no phthalates, no cyclic silicones, pretty much what you're used to hearing about these brands. It did kind of slap me sideways looking at the initial offering because I was like, this, I can't help but have it ring Lauren Conrad Beauty just because the products are all like pigment products. And so they set out to be what she calls hero products. I am happy to report though that they do have more ingenuity built into them, this being a makeup artist owned brand. I tend, if you are new here, to really like and seek out makeup artist owned brands because they tend to build in a lot of experience. So that is a little bit of base. I'm gonna do a little bit of color corrector. This is the Becca color corrector. Everything on my face today is going to be very creamy, very dewy. Like if you are actually scoping this video to see if it's something that you want to invest your money in, you're gonna probably want to really enjoy a good dewy face of makeup. This does not shy away from that whatsoever. There are no like setting powders in it as of yet. Let's start in with the first product from Jones Road. You can see here, I have stuck my fingernail in there because it's kind of a stubborn product to kind of get started. By the way, someone did message me, or maybe you left me like a comment on my Instagram or whatever, and they were like, I'm really curious about the Miracle Balm because apparently you can also use it in your hair. I want to see how blush works in your hair. So that is why I said we were going to handle this situation It is just really like, it's a shimmer goo. It's a pigmented shimmer goo. And you guys know how I feel about shimmer goos. They can sometimes just look really good on 19-year-old models. They have the perfect lighting. They put them in natural daylight or something and we just have that like Glossier aesthetic. And then when you get it in your hands, you're like, I don't really know what to do with this. And that is always my fear with these things that are supposed to be these universal balms. But I have found that the best way to use this is actually to scrape some out first. You can put it on a palette, you can just put it on the back of your hand. And it does have a fair amount of pigment. It has more pigment than the Say Beauty, what's that stuff called? Dew Balm, but not a lot more. So it's got a little shimmer to it. This is again, Dusty Rose. It comes in several shades. It actually comes in a clear. It's up to you whether $38 for a tub of clear balm like ranks, but it doesn't rank for me. But you can see there is payoff there. And it does have not shimmer, but enough luminosity to the formula that I feel like it, I don't know, it just gives your cheeks an extra dewy appearance without having to have like a ton of it on. But you guys know how I feel about blush. And you're probably already watching this going, there is no way you're going to get the pigment payoff that you like from a blush with that product. And you would be correct. However, I did wear this, you can see it's very sticky. I did wear this on its own, the times that I have worn it, and I don't hate it. It lends itself well to what it's going for, you know? Now, does it, over the day, start to get frustrating if you decide to cuddle your cat? Yeah, because this is not going to dry down at all whatsoever. That is not the idea of this formula. And so it's gonna stay sticky, it's gonna stay dewy. It does have an herbal smell to it. So I think that that is just part of the ingredients. Yeah, castor seed oil is the first thing in here, then beeswax. So it's not vegan. Capric triglyceride, so it has some coconut derivatives in it. Capric mystic stearic triglyceride, coconut alkanes, mica, more castor oil, just a lot of oils, jojoba, argan. So it is, you know, kind of coming from a skincare angle. Grapefruit peel oil, do what you will with that. Rosemary leaf oil, which is, I don't think rosemary leaf oil is seen as a preservative. You don't have to have a preservative in an oil-based balm. Yeah, what am I talking about? Iron oxides, bismuth chloride, ginger root oil, sea buckthorn. I love sea buckthorn. My skin loves sea buckthorn. So, I don't know, somewhere in there, it's making it smell really nice. It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't have, I don't know, like a lemongrass smell or like a mint smell or something like that. It's nothing alarming. It's just kind of a pleasant sort of, like I said, herbaceous smell. That did make my hair pretty greasy there in the front though. Maybe I wouldn't recommend using this like on your hair. So, I mean, that is exactly what it's going for. It's going for a pretty sheer wash of color. Are you going to get Denessa-Meyerix buildability? Absolutely not. That is not what this was designed to do. That is not what it claims to do. And so I just want to set your expectations accordingly. That is the Miracle Balm. It retails for $38 and you get 50 grams or 1.75 ounces. So it is in essence a gigantic tub of sheer dewy blush. So I'm not going to even do my typical, like, you know, bronzing and contouring and everything like that, just because I want to achieve what I think Bobbi Brown is going for aesthetic wise with this collection before I really editorialize on it. I will still probably do my brows and everything just because there's nothing in this collection for that. So the next thing that we have is this little eyeshadow right here. So this is called the Best Eyeshadow, and I didn't pick this color. This is what came in her like starter kit or whatever, and it is a really lovely, cool, deep brown. So you can use that as an eyeliner. She does recommend putting this in your eyebrows. I'm not gonna put this in my eyebrows because that would look crazy. But I am going to kind of swish this on the lids and then I'm going to highlight with this little guy. I tried putting this on first initially. This is the Just a Sec eyeshadow and it doesn't really have enough pigment payoff to warrant putting it everywhere because it really is very much like just a glittery topper kind of thing. It just reflects light. It does not really have its own pigment. I don't know, maybe on somebody else's skin it would, but on mine it doesn't. Also, it's super duper balmy. Like this is super balmy. It's kind of like a Super Shock shadow from ColourPop, whereas this is just a powder. So I don't recommend layering this then this because it just makes everything move around too much. So we are going to be judicious in applying this because this is a really dark color. And I want to still make it, I don't know, look daytime-ish. Let's go ahead and smooth that out. Here we go. This is the only powder in her collection thus far. And I'm just going to put this all over the lid and then we'll kind of blend it. Everybody looks cool when they do that. Just do that, don't blend it. All right, taking a brush without anything on it here and blending that up and around and under and just kind of generally blowing that out and giving myself a little bit of a smoky eye. It is truly the one shadow eyeshadow look. And I do understand that the aesthetic she's going for is like the cool girl look, and I will say, it's always eluded me. The effortless cool girl, like the French girl look has always eluded me, and I do feel like there are always measures that I need to take to make sure that everything is really blended and intentional looking. There is no like swipe it on the eye in my world. It's like I always have to pull out multiple tools, make sure everything's really, really blended. So again, very cool toned color. When it blends out, it really looks gray. So again, not really like good or bad, just something to keep in mind. So now I'm going to take this little guy, the Just a Sec eyeshadow. Okay, I'm not gonna do it on that finger because I just swatched with that finger, so it's still got a bunch of eyeshadow on it. We'll go ring finger. Look what I did. We'll go brow bone. And I tried using this as a highlighter. It actually, oddly, has like more mattification to it, to the formula, than does the actual balm. And I feel like it like does the opposite. When I lay it down, it doesn't actually highlight it, almost like mattifies it. So I was like, eh, we'll stay away from that. She did also say you can kind of, you know, tap this on top. And I think that that's really, really pretty. And it doesn't go too dewy, but like it makes it look like it's more of a consolidated intentional idea, you know? But that's not nothing, you know? I think that when I back away from the challenge of a really dark eyeshadow, I think, oh, well, you're not even gonna be able to see it. Like, what difference does it make? I either have to wear it bold or it doesn't matter. It's not true. It's actually like a really nice wash, and I feel like the formula itself blended really beautifully and lent itself well to wearing it pretty much at any level, and I probably could have used it as an eyeliner if there wasn't already an eyeliner in the kit, or I could get a really, really smoky eye out of it if I wanted to. But we are, at the end of the day, guys, talking about one eyeshadow. I don't want to make this a bigger deal than it is. You know, it's one eyeshadow. Let's talk about this, the best pencil. That's, you know, a bold claim, and we are going to test that claim now. So I'm just gonna do my regular, you know, eyeliner shape, and if you don't use a ton of the cream eyeshadow, this does go on really nicely. It actually has a fantastic texture to it, and it is a really pretty matte shade of like a gray black, not like a coal black, like not like an oily black. But when I put this on top of the cream shadow, I felt that it just like moved around a little too much. So like I said, don't do what I did and start with that cream eyeshadow all over. It really makes things messy. There's a part of me that thinks that when I put cool tones on my eyes like that, that's like a wash of gray, that it kind of makes me look older, and maybe not in a good way, but you guys tell me. Maybe it's just something that's outside my comfort zone. Taking my little Thrive brush here, this is the eyeliner fine brush, and just making sure that this is the shape that I like. I tend to make it go straight out from the edges, kind of connect it from the outer corner. Oh, well, unless I just draw like a really long cat eye like that. Not the worst thing in the world. could wipe it off, but instead I'm just going to match it over here. Let's do a little bit of brow real quick. I'll just zoom through this. I am going to fill them in just because I feel like, I don't know, this look needs a focal point, you know? I have a lot of that balm in my eyebrows. I can like feel it. Okay, let's talk about her mascara, y'all. It is in a plastic container, metal cap, big chunky thing, and that looks terrible. I made my hair all greasy is what I did by putting that stuff in it. That was a mistake. This is not messing around. Look at this brush, guys. Can you see that? I mean, she is big, large, in charge. This is definitely a giant curved brush. It is not backing away from it. It's bigger, I think, even than the Kosas brush, but I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is a beautiful mascara. And I will say, when I got done wearing it, the first day that I wore it, I was like, wait a second, is this a tubing mascara? Because it did a good job of resisting smudging. It did flake, which is something that will still happen with a tubing mascara if you are surrounding it with a bunch of cream products, because, you know, over the day, if your eyelids get oily or sweaty or anything like that, it's still going to kind of trigger the removal mechanism of even a tubing mascara. And so I thought maybe this was just like a really, really clean formula tubing mascara. And then when I went to rinse it off, I was disappointed. I was like, oh, darn it. No, it's not, even though it does have like a much longer wearing capability than I have seen in, you know, other clean formulas, it still had a normal removal. I think there might be fibers in this. Like, it kind of reminds me of MAC Fiber Lash. Like, I'm gonna zoom in, or I mean, I'll get close and show you guys, but the way that this layers is absolutely beautiful, and you can get some serious volume out of this without it getting super, super chunky. Of course, I do have a high threshold for chunky, but I find that this actually is one of those formulas that does well to let it dry and then go in for the next coat, whereas a lot of like tubing mascaras, in contrast, you have to sort of work while they're drying, otherwise they will just clump up and they will never unclump again. Very unforgiving. But this is like, you know, you give it a little bit of time, you throw another layer on, and I feel like this is and it's getting everywhere. I'm getting it everywhere. Let's own it. Let's take some accountability. But it's mainly because I'm trying to talk while I'm doing this, but this is a hero product. This is a wow moment in this collection. I feel like regardless of your preference, you gotta be impressed by those freaking lashes, you guys. Like, this is an incredible lash formula, and it does not perform like a clean beauty mascara. It performs like a prestige mascara. I'm getting it freaking everywhere. It gives you these bonkers lashes, like crazy. So it's like, if you're not wearing a whole lot of makeup on your face, like I said, we weren't really getting much of a focal point because everything is so sheer wash of color and just so subtle. Those are not subtle lashes. Now, it does take eons to dry. So you're gonna have to put up with that being on my face for a minute. Again, I apologize to all of my earth signs and some of my air signs, but once it's dry, I will kind of scrape it off. I just don't wanna smudge it all the way across my face. But like, for the impact that it gives, I feel like it's worth waiting for the dry time. It's pretty incredible. Like, I didn't curl my lashes, so it's kind of hard sometimes to see that, like how long they look, just because my eyes are deep set, but that, I mean, it is on par, if not more effective at building volume than the Kosas, the Big Clean, and it does not, at least in my experience, I've only worn it like 3 days, but it doesn't smudge. It will flake, but it does not smudge. It's a you-know-what to get off, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's a you-know-what. Like, I had to do 2 times with like an oil cleanser rubbing my eyes. Not my fave. Almost like a waterproof formula. Okay, the last thing that we have here from the Jones Road collection is her lip gloss. And you know, this is a clear gloss. I don't think anybody's like gonna be disenfranchised if they don't see it without a lip liner. I always wear a lip liner with all lip glosses. I feel like it just really brings everything together. And it's minty. I think it's why they call it the cool gloss, because it's kind of cooling. However, I need to look at the ingredients on this because it does not, for whatever reason, nourish my lips. It actually dries them out. I don't know what it is about those kinds of formulas sometimes. Like, I was watching Lauren from Holy Beautiful. She was talking about how the Ilia does that for her, how this actually dries her lips out over the day. That is not my experience with it, but that is my experience with this one, and I don't know why. So again, first ingredient is castor oil, and then we have cocoa glycerides, Sarah Alba beeswax, polyhydrostearic, I don't know what a lot of this stuff is, peppermint oil, shea butter, menthol, candelilla wax. All of these things, like candelilla wax, shea butter, like these are all beeswax, like the things that I typically rely on for a long-lasting, very nourishing lip product. Usually if it's a vegan formula, it will have a little bit more trouble having like long wear because you're usually trying to substitute something like beeswax, but I don't know, it's really thin. It's like more like a lip oil. It does a really good job of plumping and just being really pretty, but I feel like it's not very nourishing. So I wear it over the day and I feel like later my lips are drier for it. So it's not really a winner for me. All right. Get that off of there. Get that off of there. Again, it does behave either, I mean, I don't have much experience with waterproof mascaras, I'll be honest. I don't wear them. So maybe that's what waterproof mascaras do too, where they just kind of go almost plastic on the skin, you know, once they dry down, and so you can flick them off really easily. But I feel like aside from the ultimate wash off, like the end of the wash off, this behaves just like a tubing mascara. Because when you wash your face the first time even, like this stuff doesn't really want to move around, and it does only start to resolve and like come off with warm water, and then you have to use an oil cleanser or something to get the rest of it off. It kind of comes halfway, you know, on being really, really high performing, but the wash off leaves a lot to be desired. So, do we like the way that this looks? Do we like the way that this looks? I would say I'd see myself out, but that's a really good pun. I'm staying. Okay, so from the Our Story here on Jones Road, it says, Jones Road was founded by makeup artist Bobbi Brown on the philosophy that the world doesn't need more beauty products, it needs better beauty products. Clean, strategic, high-grade formulations that work on every skin type and that are as simple to use as they are to master. Jones Road is a lifetime of beauty knowledge distilled, which is what I always say about makeup artist-owned brands. A clean slate, no phthalates, sulfates, petrolatum, PEGs, cyclosilicones, EDTA, or BPA, among many others. We follow the guidelines even more stringent than those of the EU to eliminate over 2,700 potentially harmful ingredients from our formulas because clean beauty is a no-brainer. Like I've said before, I don't have my own opinions on what qualifies as clean and what does not. I only call a brand clean if they call themselves clean. However, I will say that in all of my experience using clean beauty foundations and complexion products and things that do go directly on my, you know, the pores of my face, I have noticed that a limited ingredient list can mitigate my breakouts. There is something to it, like I say. All of my endeavors start from my attempt to bridge the gap between what is and what could be. This is from Bobbi herself. I'm a person who is constantly taking mental notes, following the threads of my curiosity, asking questions. 4 years ago, after I left Bobbi Brown Cosmetics, one of those questions was, why can't I find makeup products that are both clean and high performance that don't sacrifice one for the other? That is always the struggle, and that was the big struggle for me in 2019. That was where I landed at the end of 2019, was I don't feel comfortable continuing to only review clean beauty, A, because I'm not sure that it has the same, I'm not sure that it has a definition that we can really firmly like place our hands on, and B, I just didn't want to talk anyone into spending their money on only clean beauty when I really couldn't vouch for their performance in almost all cases. There were just a handful of brands that I felt like were worth it, but that the rest of it was not worth my money even to test. So regardless, Jones Road was born from a search for something that didn't yet exist. Because it didn't exist, I had to create it. What I wanted was the makeup equivalent of a Swiss Army knife. Easy, cool, multi-purpose products that could be used to nail any look, whether it be no makeup or something with more drama. It began with the need to create formulas for my own kit, and then it became something much bigger. Jones Road is a growing collection of simple, smart products for all ages, skin types, and skin tones that help women achieve the no makeup look naturally, an evolution of how good makeup can actually feel as well as look. I'm excited and honored to share the results with you. So yeah, like I said, this does seem to come from a general like weariness of the entire industry, and someone who is probably more aware of what makes skin look like skin, especially from photographing and being on camera and stuff like that, that is going to look more natural with less effort. And I think that that's what she was going for. Did we nail it? we will talk about that. The Miracle Balm is $38. The mascara is $26. I did misspeak. The Cool Gloss is $22. The startup kit is $68. The startup kit included the 2 eyeshadows, the eye pencil, and the lip gloss in clear. And there's only one colorway in that. That's like the everyone startup kit, basically. Coming soon would be the Just a Sec eyeshadow on its own, some Sparkle Wash, which looks to be a liquid eyeshadow, and buying the Best pencil on its own. So the kit includes some of these things, but to buy them on their own is something that isn't yet available on her website. So, you guys know I'm not gonna be able to get through this video without doing something about my cheeks. I'm just not happy, okay? So, first of all, this, I mean, I'm kind of, you know, doing the slow slide into my final thoughts here. Look at my brush. Ew. It is so gummed up from that balm. That stuff is balmy. And I really don't know what would really be sacrificed in terms of the overall intent of the product to just make it more pigmented. I mean, there is a clear one, which maybe means I'm missing the point here of what this is supposed to do. But if I'm putting it on my cheeks, I'm not gonna be able to get the saturation value that I like on my cheeks with something that's that dewy without it just getting really, really sticky. That said, it does have nice skincare oils in it, and it does behave like a skincare product over the day. It does stay really nice and dewy if that's what you're looking for. If you have dry skin, it's gonna be really great. But that balm is $38. This is the Nudist palette from Danessa Myricks, another makeup artist's own brand. And this is $44. And it is the best thing that I've ever owned when it comes to blush. I just love it so much. So I'm just going to enhance my cheeks just a little bit here because it just looks better, okay? So I don't think that it is necessarily a bad product. It just isn't the only product that I want to use as a blush. I wouldn't be able to achieve what I like from a blush with the Miracle Balm. I do also feel like she has set herself up for really high expectations, not just with the names of these products, like the Cool Gloss, the Perfect Pencil, the Miracle Balm, but also the prices. I know that, you know, clean beauty does tend to come at a higher price tag, but I feel like these are all like about $4 too expensive for what they are, you know? I am using a little bit of the deeper shades here, building a little bit of brickiness. But from the standpoint of something with very, very little coverage, and if you are looking for something that you can practically put on without a mirror, you know, I would say that you can achieve that with her products. Plus, you know, when you do put on less, it's kind of a catch-22. When you put on more, you have to put on more. When you put on less, you have to put on less. So like I said, I didn't want to put on a contour and bronzer because it was such a sheer wash of color on my cheeks. And so I feel like when you reset your expectations for what no makeup is, a lot of times I think I'm doing no makeup. Maybe I'm giving myself too much credit on what could be achieved without makeup, but this is truly no makeup in the sense that like maybe even dial back your expectations even a little bit more. I am gonna take a little bit more of that pencil and get closer to my lash line. I feel like it's doing that thing that I hate, where I have like a gap right at my lash line. That's better. So I'm gonna move you guys out and we will talk final thoughts on each one of these products and also on the brand so far in general. Okay, let's talk final thoughts here. So, like I said, I think it's all about $4 too expensive per product. That's just me. Also, this being a Miracle Balm, again, setting the bar really high with that name. That's how I feel about this. It's just a balm. It is a balm with a color to it. It is basically a gigantic tub of a slightly, and I mean slightly more pigmented version of the Say Beauty Dew Balm. That's what I would compare it to. I'm pretty sure they even smell the same. It is very, I'm so sorry, Bobbi. This is very off the shelf. It does not feel very innovative to me, this particular product. I get it. I get what you're going for, and I get that I should probably dial back my own expectations of what no makeup should be, and this would probably be more in line with that if I did, but the way that I like to see myself on an everyday basis, and I am a very low makeup person, this is still not enough, and I wouldn't get excited to use it. Does it make my skin look nice? Yes, it does. But I'm not sure that's really enough. You know, at the end of the day, I'm surrounded by makeup. I have the perspective, that is always what I'm trying to achieve, is a general knowledge of what's out there so that I can give you guys the perspective of, is this worth your money within the context of everything else that's screaming at you on the internet vying for your next dollar? And I would say that this just doesn't really rank. This doesn't really rank. The Dew Balm didn't either. Talking about this eyeshadow, again, we're talking about one eyeshadow. It is a nice formula. I hope that they come out with more shades of it, because this one, it's fine. It's just not doing me any favors, you know? I would use it going forward as an eyeliner. Like I would, you know, lick my brush, use it as an eyeliner. I'm not sure that that is a reason to buy an entire eyeshadow. You've got plenty of brown eyeshadows. This little guy, this reminds me very, very muchly of, wait for it, Rituel de Fille, the eye soot, but not the really gummy one, the other one. There are two different kinds. One is more of like a cream. This one is more of like a funny bouncy powder. Like I said, it's a lot like the ColourPop Super Shock Shadows. It doesn't have the just juicy satisfaction of a ColourPop Super Shock Shadow. I think that that was always the appeal of a Super Shock Shadow, is that, you know, you put it on the lid and it just goes wha-bam, and it's just super, what do we say? Fun to use. There's nothing really fun to use about that, because it just doesn't really, I'm gonna put it up really close so you can see exactly how much it doesn't, wow. Do you see it? Do you see that swatch? Yeah, me neither. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be super brutal, but like this had all the potential in the world to be like, wapow. And this collection genuinely needs some wapow, and there was just no wapow. If I could iterate on this, I would make it more shimmery, you know, something either more like the Hourglass Scattered Light, or just something wow. I need some wow, you know? This is all kind of, The best pencil? I mean, it's pretty good. It's not particularly like crazy high impact. It's pretty easy to control. It's black, she calls it black, but it is much more of like a sooty gray. And I feel like that almost makes it easier to wear. It's not that oily kohl that you get from, you know, Daniel Sandler, Wayne Goss, Victoria Beckham, that just really has this like crazy impact. It's almost like a no makeup black eyeliner, which I think is what she was going for. And then a clear gloss. Like I said, I don't love this formula because it dries my lips out. There are so many other lip gloss formulas that don't have tackiness to them, but that still nourish my lips. Let me name some. The Kosas Wet Lip Oil, incredibly nourishing for me. Incredibly nourishing. Love the clear Jellyfish, also love Dip, the shade that I tried last week. So beautiful, and not really much more cost effective than this, to be honest. Kosas does run a lot of sales though, but it's a pretty expensive product. The Thrive lip glosses are not sticky whatsoever. They're very thin and lightweight. The M Cosmetics Morning Dew. Absolutely beautiful, very lightweight. I wouldn't recommend this just because it's not doing what it says it's gonna do, and as a clear gloss goes, you really gotta blow my mind. I got a lot of clear glosses. And then finally, this is the rock star product of her entire release. For all of them to be hero products is a very like large claim to have to meet. I feel like she kind of set herself up there, but this mascara, if you like a clean mascara formula, quote unquote, and you know, I talk about that separately a lot of times from a tubing formula because the ingredients are very different. And a lot of times people would prefer something that is super clean for allergic reasons for their eyes. And if this meets, I would absolutely, you know, double check on the ingredients, but if this does meet your standards, this is easily the best clean mascara formula that I have used thus far. It has all of the impact and is easier to control than the Kosas. And like I said, I have worn this for 3 days, and every time, yes, because I have a lot of cream products on my face, it is going to flake and you can kind of brush the flakes off, but it has not smudged. It has not run. It has not done anything underneath my eyes, and it takes a wild minute to dry. So just, you know, account for that in your makeup application routine. Like don't reach up and like try and touch your eyelashes right afterwards. But I feel like that's the price that you pay for this being a long wearing mascara compared to other clean beauty formulas that I've used. And let's see, you get 0.51 ounces. Holy moly. You only get 0.38 in Thrive, and that is the biggest container of mascara that I own, I'm pretty sure. So this is a crap ton of mascara. It really is for your money. So that kind of justifies the price. So yeah, I am as excited as you guys allow me to be about this line in terms of whether or not you want to see her next releases reviewed on my channel. If this line looks promising enough to you and you're curious enough about it, even though I don't necessarily recommend all the only one that I really recommend is this guy. And I'm glad that I was able to review it for you guys because I feel like this is a really exciting line in concept, but I feel like these formulas just aren't really there yet in terms of things that excite me and things that I want to reach for every day. If you don't wear the pounds of blush that I prefer to wear, then the Miracle Balm might be right up your alley. Some people really do have that definition of no makeup makeup that really almost looks like absolutely no makeup. And if that's the case, this mascara is probably going to completely overwhelm you because it's a very whoop-how, awesome, effective, volumizing mascara that I actually really enjoy wearing. I don't enjoy washing it off. Do not enjoy washing it off. But yeah, the rest of it, I really feel like, you know, I still had to reach for other things in my collection in order to make it how I prefer to see myself in the mirror, even on a no makeup day. So let me know your thoughts on the appearance of this look and if you've tried this or if you are excited about her future releases, even if this doesn't excite you that much. If you did find this helpful, do give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. Thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you so, so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.